How's it going, fellow reefers? As always, God bless you and thank you for being here. I'm Gage and this is Candy Coral Aquatics. If you're new to my channel, please think about subscribing and hitting that notification bell. This is where I talk about all things reefing, but more importantly, where I share the information I've gathered on my tank with you guys to help you become better hobbyists at this hobby we call reefing. Today, guys, I'm going to be spotlighting a product that I've been using for the last 3 or 4 days now, and I'm going to tell you guys my overall thoughts on it, as well as is it something that I would completely recommend for you. So let's go ahead and jump right into the video. So what I'm going to be talking about today is Tropic Marin's All for Reef, which is a supplementation program that in one bottle, 1 dose per day, provides all the calcium, magnesium, alkalinity, and trace elements that your corals need. Now, you guys have heard me say this in the past. Hey, there's no cure-all, there's no liquid gold in a bottle that you can add to your tank and expect to see results with. Well, guys, maybe I spoke too soon, because so far all the information that I've seen on this All for Reef by Tropic Marin suggests that it might just be that. Now, I just want to clarify, nobody is having me make this video. I'm not sponsored in any way, shape, or form by Tropic Marin or anybody else. I'm just a humble hobbyist sharing my opinions. So after getting that out of the way, let's talk about Tropic Marin's All for Reef. Now, the All for Reef, as I mentioned before, is basically just a highly concentrated, all-round solution for supplying all key minerals and trace elements in a newly installed and average reef aquarium. That's actually directly from the back of the bottle is what this product is saying specifically on its label. So essentially, in a nutshell, guys, this is providing everything that your corals should ever need. Now, if you have a really, really large system with lots of demanding coral in it, is this a product for you? I would say yes. However, when it comes to cost effectiveness, it might be more cost effective for you to do a 2-part solution than it would be for to go the all reef route. And here's why. I picked up this 250 milliliter bottle of All for Reef from Bulk Reef Supply. I do apologize, it's dark in the room, but if you guys want to see a picture of it, just go ahead and Google All for Reef. So I picked this up on Bulk Reef Supply. It's a 250 milliliter bottle, and I got it for $14. Now, if we break this down mathematically, right now, based on what the instructions are telling me to dose, I'm dosing approximately, I want to say it was about 12 to 13 milliliters of All for Reef per day, which when calculated out, suggests that the 250 milliliter bottle will last me approximately 21 days. So for $14, I've got almost a month's worth of supplementation. Now that doesn't sound bad, but when you compare it to some of the 2-part options on the market, it is fairly more expensive than some of those other options. However, does it always matter about dollars and cents and maybe saving an extra buck or two? In my opinion, no. What really matters to me, especially if you can afford it, is purity of the substance. Is it easy to use? Is it effective? And does it actually do what the product is describing that it does? If this product can completely and safely and effectively and stably manage and maintain all of my calcium, magnesium, alkalinity, and trace elements, then it is absolutely 110% worth the money that you're going to pay for it. But if it can't, then yes, obviously it's not going to be worth that. Now, 3 to 4 days of dosing this is nowhere near enough time for me to be able to tell you guys, hey, this is a great product, go and get it. I just want to make you guys aware that right now I am dosing this, and I will dose this every single day for the next 2 months until I have some credible feedback for you guys. So that being said, I will have to order a second bottle of it, but I hope after at least 1 month of using this, I should see some sort of results somewhere. So at the end of the 7 days, the first week of dosing this, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to test my parameters. I'm going to see where my calcium, magnesium, alkalinity is. While we can't really test for trace elements all that effectively, unless you do like an ICP testing, I am going to be checking for the main 3, the calcium, magnesium, and alkalinity. Now, at the end of the week, the first week of dosage, It then tells you to increase your daily dosing by 2.5 milliliters per 100 liters of aquarium water, which would be 2.5 milliliters per about 26 gallons of water US. So what that means is, let's say hypothetically, I am dosing right now for easy math. Let's say I'm dosing 10 milliliters a day. Okay, that would be my daily dose every single day for the first week. Okay, again, it's based on how much water volume you have. Your starting off dose is 5 milliliters per 26 gallons. So let's just say, for instance, that I have, what would that be? 26 and 26 is 2, 4, 52 gallon tank, okay? So I'm dosing 10 milliliters every single day. At the end of the first week, I increase that daily dose by 2.5 milliliters per 26 gallons. So I'd be adding another 5 milliliters on top of that. So now I move from 10 milliliters a day to 15 milliliters a day. Then I test. And I continue to increase weekly by 2.5 milliliters until I have a stable DKH, a constant DKH between 7 and 9. Once I have achieved that between 7 and 9, wherever you would like it to be within that range, you go ahead and hold on that daily dosage. So let's say it took me 20 milliliters to do that. I do 20 milliliters a day, which would be a gradual increase over the next couple of weeks of 2.5 milliliters per 26 gallons. I end up at 20 milliliters a day. At 20 milliliters a day, let's say my DKH is 8.0. Okay, perfect. That's the sweet spot. Now, every single solitary day, every day of the week, I'm going to be dosing 20 milliliters to my tank every single day. And then after about a week or two, make sure you test, make sure that DKH is still rock hard where it's supposed to be at 8.0 DKH or whatever it is that you would like it to be between 7 and 9 DKH. Now your daily dosing is going to be 20 milliliters forever until either you have a ton of coral growth that is absorbing more, alkalinity from the water, or until maybe you've added a lot more coral to the tank and your demand is higher. So once you start to see that DKH go down because you have a lot more coral growth or you've added more coral, then again, you're just going to add 2.5 milliliters to that daily dose until you're back to square one at that rock solid 8.0 DKH. I hope that made sense. So that being said, after the first month, I'm expecting and hoping to see some big changes in the tank because overall, guys, the golden rule in this hobby is stability. So if I can take one product once a day, pour it into my tank, takes 5 seconds to do, and I've just provided my tank with everything that it needs in a stable and safe manner, that is an A in my book. But again, going back to my previous statement, if you have a very large stock tank with a ton of hard calcifying coral in it, might not be financially in your best interest to go this route because you can buy 2 parts a lot cheaper that will last longer. But here's the main disadvantage with the 2-part solution. As far as stability goes, yes, they can be very stable, but usually they're the most stable when you buy dosing pumps and you've actually gone through the task of testing your tank very vigorously and making sure that, the amount that you're dosing of this 2-part solution every single day is actually dialing in where you want it to be and then setting your dosing pumps for that. I think it would be pretty difficult to dose 2-part by hand and effectively and accurately continuously be able to provide a very stable environment. That's just my opinion of using 2-part. But I have to admit, I was kind of lazy with 2-part, and I never really tested anywhere near as much as I should have. So for me, I think that this all for Reef is going to be the answer to my issues. My laziness is really what it is, and the fact that I don't really want to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on really nice dosing pumps when this could potentially work even better. So I'll let you guys know in about a month or so how this is turning out for me. If it is something that you guys want to try for yourself, though, I will say that I'm sure that it's extremely, extremely safe. I would back that simply because there's hundreds, if not hundreds of thousands of people that I'm sure use this product and love this product. And if it wasn't safe and it didn't do what it said, I'm sure it would not be around as long as it has been. And I'm sure thered be some pretty negative feedback on it. So again, let's just kind of see how the tank does in a month or two, and we'll come back and I'll let you guys know what my experiences are on it. the end of this video, guys, I just want to go ahead and share with you how my Zoanthids are doing, because I still have people asking and waiting for the sweet tooth zoas. So when I first added the sweet tooths to the tank, I was hoping that they were going to grow really fast like everything else, and unfortunately it just turned out that they didn't really want to take off. Well, I'm happy to report now that they've been doing way better than they have previously. So let me go ahead and zoom this in here, and there they are right there. You can see the filefish swimming by them, but you can see here, if we get a little bit closer, let me see if I can zoom this in a little bit more from where we're standing here. There is a lot of new growth. And it actually goes back and around a little bit on the back side of that rock. So these are coming in really great. Let me actually go ahead and let's get a little bit closer here. You guys are going to have to bear with me. Okay. Shooby-doo. All right, let's zoom in here a little bit. Whoops. Get focused. Yeah. There we go. So they're doing really good. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. The rest of the zoas are looking great. Look how much growth I've got on these Sunny D's now. If you guys remember, these started off as like, you know, maybe just a handful of polyps. Now they're growing like weeds. Same thing with the Fruit Loops. These Rastas, I actually had somebody ask me in the comments section a while back how my Rastas were doing, and you know, basically how I was growing them and whatnot. Well, look at those bad boys. They're clearly climbing up the rock now. Those are doing fantastic. If my filefish would move. There we go. So yeah, they're wrapping underneath. They're going up. The color on them is really great. They're still one of my favorite zoas. They really are. Those Rastas are just awesome. There's the LA Lakers. Oh, I want to show you guys these Yodas. These are sweet. Look at these guys. You guys ever seen a zoa like this before? These are pretty cool. So there's the Zoa Yoda, or the Zoa Yodas. Those are called Yodas. I don't know if I called them Zodas or what, but those are called Yodas. They're really sweet looking. So like a bright blue kind of center with like this orangey, or excuse me, not orangey, like goldenish yellow kind of skirt. I don't really know how to describe it other than that, but they're a sweet looking Zoa. So when those bad boys really start to grow out, that's going to be pretty cool up top, I think. And then, you know, I got the other ones that I've always had. Sorry about my shoddy camera work here. There is the, rightfully, I can't remember what those are called now. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I don't remember what the heck those are called. I used to know, but it's been a minute since I've made a video for you guys, so I can't remember what they're called. But then down here below, there's the scrambled eggs. And then back over there, the orange Bam Bams, those are still doing really good. I think I'm actually going to take a couple of those orange Bam Bams and a couple of those scrambled eggs, and I'm actually going to frag them out and put them somewhere else, because these other zoas here, these pallies up here, shade them out. So I don't think they're growing quite as big or as colorful as they normally would be. But they still have great color. They really do. Don't get me wrong. I just want it to be better. Sorry, I can't remember off the top of my head what the heck those zoas were called. I was actually fragging some out. There's actually a frag right down there in the sand bed of them. If I can get this to refocus, there we go. And they're pretty cool, because if you look, they're the same zoa. Okay, same species, if you will, but there's multiple color morphs. The angle of the glass here is kind of impeding me from showing you. Maybe I can get, there we go, that's a little better. But yeah, there's multiple color morphs within the same species, if you will, which is pretty neat, because if you go back to the mother colony, you can really see the different color morphs in there. So if anybody is interested in that, I can probably pull some polyps together, because that was a little frag that was, I think there was only maybe 3 or 4 on there, and then it just exploded into that. And I actually have another colony way back here. These guys actually got kicked to the back, so they're not looking as hot. They're underneath the rocks, so they're kind of stretching for light a little bit. But I assure you, as soon as I pull them out to the front, they're going to look just as good as the other ones. So that's really not an issue. But yeah, if anybody out there wants a frag of those, you can go ahead and let me know. I'll sell them to you at a fair price. No problems with that. The only thing, guys, I can't really get around is shipping costs. So unfortunately, you will have to pay your own shipping costs. So at that point, you just have to ask yourselves, you know, is it something that you want in your tank? Because, you know, I'd be willing to let a frag of 3 or 4 of those go for like $20. Maybe even less, but then you've got, you know, your shipping on top of that. And if you guys want me to overnight it to you, It's usually pretty flat rated, about 40 bucks for livestock. So just kind of, you know, toss it around. If it's something you guys want, I'll do my best to make, you know, my prices of what I'm selling them as affordable as possible, so that way everybody can get, you know, a little piece of the action if you would want. I'm not out to get rich off of this. You know, I just like to see you guys happy, and you guys have some nice little coral in your tank of your own to start off with. So that's my update, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. To kind of blab there for a second, and it's really bothering me that I can't remember the name of those zoas. I'm just burning up time trying to think of it. Anyways, maybe next video I'll remember what the heck they were called. Until next time, guys, take care, God bless, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. See ya.